You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Centre, this is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share facts.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is
We'll do it live! Time goes in, time goes out. Never miscommunication.
It's over 9,000! My name is Foxy.
The balls are in there. Do a barrel roll. Don't save me, bro. It's a trap. I'm a firing memory. Time to do. Hey, Charlie, wake up. Oh, God, oh, man.
UCD Nerd to Know here on Phoenix 32.5 FM. My name is Darrell O'Connor. Welcome to the show. This is the first day of September 2018. This is show number 7 of the relaunched Nerd to Know basis. Great show coming up this week. Let's get right into it with our first segment.
We have a packed studio here today. I am Darrell O'Connor, your host, joined by Connor Manning.
Thank you very much, Darrell.
Corey McChrystal of the Eternal Lunch and the rest of the International Desk. Jan Lynch.
Hey, what's up?
And the mysterious Rob Panettiere. How are things, Rob?
I'm alright. I'm a bit under the weather. That's why I am mysterious.
But guys, we have a lot to get through here today. Lots of random and weird stuff always happens on the internet. So when I was going through making the ads, I was like, okay, let's see what we can talk about here today. And one of the most entertaining things that I came across was a podcast called How Did This Get Made? Okay. And basically this is by a group of insiders, Paul Scheer, Jason Macaseries and June Diane Raphael, who comes out and just talks about the worst movies ever made and critiques them.
That sounds like my job.
But
I work in the next division, so that's what I do all day, every day.
Well, okay, well let's talk about a few of the movies that they bring up. The one I listened to on the way in was Sucker Punch.
Yes.
Yeah. And that movie is absolutely atrocious.
It's like they gave a 14-year-old like 50 pixie sticks and a piece of paper and draw us a movie, boy.
It is disjointed, I think, is a nice way of saying it.
Disjointed.
Yes.
And have you
not cohesive.
Have you noticed that the majority of the movie is either a reference to or full-on discussion of rape?
Yes.
It was eye candy for sexual offenders.
Yeah,
it is the most rapey movie I have ever seen, and yes, I used the word rapey.
It's a verb.
It's a verb.
Yeah. It's basically
Adjective.
if I dance, everyone becomes hypnotized. And
I'm sorry, I have to say adjective.
Adjective.
Oh, sorry.
Adjective.
Oh.
Raping would be a
verb.
Grammar, guys.
Grammar's important. But no, there's the dancing scene where it is just someone being raped, and then the stepfather tries to rape her and gets shot in the face.
No, the stepfather basically the story is he doesn't get everything in the will. It's left to the daughters.
Yeah.
So he tries to kill one of them, not rape them. But it looks kind of rapey.
No, but there's the thing. That's what they're bringing up in this, because apparently there's the subtext where he is trying to rape her, but they pass it off as she's being killed. And then the bullet...
Then why the hell did they bring up the will and everything and him tossing up the will and burning it in the fire?
Because it makes no sense.
No.
that is one of the... And basically they go off on an absolute huge rant about this, but the biggest offender on this podcast is one Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
What can we say about him?
Do you know, some people actually turn down movies. Nicolas Cage.
But let's spend some time here on Nicolas Cage, because this poor chap...
Can I just recommend Google search Nick Cage as everything? You will waste an entire afternoon just seeing some of the best photoshops of your life.
Can I also recommend one? I think it's a college humour vid where it's Nick Cage is calling his agent, and his agent is pitching him ideas, and like, okay, here's an example. This is one movie you wouldn't do: Schindler's List as an action movie. Do it.
Oh my god!
If anyone gets time, do look that up. I think it's College Humor, but it'll be on YouTube.
We'll post it on our Facebook page afterwards.
We'll post it on our Facebook page. But no, okay.
He used to be like a good actor.
That was my point, Rob.
But he's only good at losing like his head. That's all he's good at.
Well, here's the thing, right? Where do we mark where Nicolas Cage went down?
I know his peak was Face Off.
The Wicker Man.
And Con Air.
The Wicker Man. That was bad.
Wind Talkers was bad too.
Yeah.
But The Wicker Man is actually a whole topic for how did this get made.
Atrocious.
And that movie is just horrible. But let's just run down some of the movies he's been in since, the dark days of Nicolas Cage. National Treasure.
Oh.
First one I thought was okay. I mean, I didn't think it was great, but I just kind of it was watchable.
It was watchable.
Yeah.
The Ant Bully.
Never seen it.
The Wicker Man.
Oh, it's terrible.
World Trade Center.
Okay.
I avoided it because I think it's just propaganda film.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, my expectations were so low going to see it. I think that I kind of thought, well, maybe it's not as terrible as everyone said.
National Treasure 2.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Bangkok Dangerous.
That was terrible.
Knowing.
I haven't seen it.
No.
Bad Lieutenant.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Was great. That was really good.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Season of the Witch.
No.
Trespass.
Haven't seen it.
And then Ghost Rider 2, and there's more. Basically, it goes down the list of more offensive movies.
Bad Lieutenant Portical is actually like a little silver lining amongst all the crap.
One thing you have to give him is that he gets up through about 4 or 5 movies a year. It's actually quite impressive.
Yeah. It is quite impressive.
Just his work rate, the sheer amount of crap that he can churn out.
He definitely must not be good with his money, though.
No, that's the thing. I think the man does have tax problems. Because how else would you justify
I know for
this?
a fact that his son has a heavy metal band. I think he's pumping money into that. That's a big thing.
But like,
Can you imagine that?
he's not the name he once was. Maybe, how do you know how much he's actually getting a film now? Maybe he's actually not getting like a huge amount by Hollywood standards.
Yeah.
And like, instead of doing one big job a year like, say, George Clooney or Brad Pitt would do, maybe he does like 10 little projects that maybe don't pay as much.
But seriously, how do you justify Bangkok Dangerous?
His wife was Asian, and I think this is like kind of he fell in love. Do you remember like he went through the stage where he fell in love with like Elvis memorabilia, so he married
Elvis's
daughter, and then he went through a whole Asian culture thing, so he married an Asian woman and made Bangkok Dangerous in the process. He actually has a big he has a big sleeve of like dragons and stuff on his arm. At least he used to.
What about The Wicker Man?
Oh, I don't know.
That was really bad.
Drunk.
Yeah. He must have been on some gear.
He
for
just
that, man.
wanted to hit women and get.
That's it.
To be fair, right? That movie sucks for the most part of it until the last half an hour when he just goes bonkers.
He's dressed in a bear suit. And he goes and digs a little girl. Yeah.
If anybody can make a compilation of just every instance where he hits a woman,
Oh, it's done. It's on YouTube.
There is one.
It is.
to Dizzy Rascal's bonkers.
Oh yeah.
There's also one very quickly. There actually is a James Bond hitting women one, which is actually even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to see that,
James
yeah.
Bond hates women, like kind of thing, and it's just
We put
Sean
that up on
Connery.
YouTube as well.
We'll
Yeah.
put that up on the Facebook as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut across you there.
You'd wonder who reads his scripts. Are they sitting there thinking, an apocalypse movie with a transgender love interest? Yeah, that sounds about right for me.
That's what I want to be involved in.
His manager should have been fired about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Well, if you believe like I said, the agent video from College Humor, it's his agent telling him just don't. Why are you doing this? You can turn them down.
Okay. As bad as this is, right? Have any of you guys ever seen Battlefield Earth?
Yes.
I think so.
Who was in that again? That was.
This is the movie with what's his name again? It escapes me.
Battlefield Earth.
I know.
John Travolta.
John Travolta. Yeah,
That's
a weird.
This
film.
is the Scientology. This is part of the trilogy that was supposed to happen about your man Ron L. Hubbard.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know the
Terrible
film.
writer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This
terrible.
is the only thing that beats Nicolas Cage for the most raspberries ever won. It holds the record for the most raspberries
I
ever.
thought that film, Call Girl, or what was it called? I don't know. Showgirls. I thought that is like the record for most Razzies ever won.
This beats it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This beats it because it's just
The director actually turned up to the Razzies to accept his awards for that year.
Well, you would.
Yeah.
You would.
No, most of them don't. I mean, Sandra Bullock also turned up for it because she won the same year she won the Oscar for The Blind Side. She turned up and accepted her Razzie for Worst Actress in All About Steve.
That was a horrible movie.
Yes.
That was a horrible film she was in was probably Demolition Man. Or Demolition Man.
What a movie.
That's a great film.
What a movie.
It predicted Schwarzenegger's rise in politics.
It did.
Oh
It
my
did.
God.
It still might happen, by the way.
Yeah, he may actually do it.
Yeah.
He may actually do it. But Demolition Man, I just want to go do a quick roundtable here. Who has seen Demolition Man here?
I have.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Afraid I haven't.
Oh, God.
You have to see it though.
You have to see it.
Yeah.
Corey and Connor, man. You guys have to see it.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Tell you one thing, his kicks are phenomenal.
Yeah.
He beats the you-know-what out of that window.
Yeah, he does.
really does. It's awesome. Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic world.
Not really.
Kind of. The whole world kind of collapses and they go into
The
this...
whole world's gone morally insane.
Exactly. And they go into these mega cities where they have to, rebuild society based in a neo-feudalistic Japan style where everyone is basically just...
Wearing robes.
Wear robes and everyone's domesticated. Then the super criminal comes back. What's his name? Phoenix?
Yeah, there's no guns.
There's no guns. There's no guns
in this
but he
film.
comes back and he's a pro martial artist. He's an uber killer. He can just pick all locks and all this kind of stuff. So what did he need? They need a cop from the early...
Who learned how to knit.
He learned how to knit.
Sorry.
He learned how to knit.
His skill was knitting.
And he knits a sweater.
Yes.
And there's no sex in this either.
Yeah, or cigarettes.
Or cigarettes. Or toilet paper. They have seashells.
They have seashells, yeah.
You can't
He
curse
doesn't know how
either,
to
don't
use the
forget
threes.
that.
You can't curse, yeah.
Oh, and all restaurants are Taco Bell.
Yeah.
After the franchise wars.
Yeah.
So you can see how awesome it is.
It sounds excellent. I cannot wait to get home and see it, actually.
And then it descends basically into just nonsensical action for most of it. And if you ever go to Planet Hollywood in Paris, they actually have up on the ceiling Sylvester Stallone up in his ice cabinet thing.
Oh, you're
So it's pretty cool.
Dennis Leary was in that film, wasn't he? The comedian.
What part did he play?
He was like the head of the resistance crowd.
Oh, underground.
He was.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah.
that was it. Then he ended up after that and doing the voice of the saber-toothed tiger in Ice Age, which is a great career.
I suppose. No, it's kind of...
He's actually a good comedian, though. He actually is quite funny.
He is.
I don't know, but no, that is not actually in how this got made because it is a fantastic movie, and I
What
recommend
conclusion
that.
do they bring about actually Nick Cage? Just bringing it back very quickly. What do they reach a conclusion about why he does?
They were too busy freaking out and cursing about how bad The Wicker Man was and
Like,
how other movies are.
Yeah.
That's just
Minus
basically-
the cursing.
minus the cursing. But I don't know. I think that's going to wrap up that part of the segment.
Okay.
But I'm going to.
Because that could last just forever.
That could last for ages. And, it is too much fun to have. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a break here. We're going to play our first song of the show. And when we come back, I'm going to show you guys one of the best things I found from YouTube. I can't play it off YouTube or off crack.com because of the swearing. I've actually had to clean it up a little bit.
Oh.
But this is... Jan actually on the way in was saying, I want some Death Clock. So I'm going to play some Death Clock, and when we come back, we're going to break down bits and pieces. Connor, you want to say something?
I haven't actually gotten around to watching this yet because the UCD internet won't allow me to view the site for some reason. I cannot. I need to start watching it at home, I think, but I haven't gotten around to it.
You need to. And this is The Lost Vikings by Death Clock.
Getting the mates round for the party won't cost you anything but time, thanks to Meteor's free text to any network. Meteor, your social network.
Lonely on a Monday night? Single? Surrounded by cats? We have what you need. Great 80s and 90s hits. All night long until 9 o'clock. Monday Night Flippers only on Belfield FM. 7:30 to 9. Monday night excluding holidays. Hosted by Phil Fitzgerald, Corey Crystal, Chase Nova, and a bevy of other musical guests. Sensually pleasing you with 80s and 90s hits. Caressing you, if you will, with synth-pop. You need Belfield FM.
No one can ever take that away from you. But after The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Bangkok Dangerous, Knowing, Ghostwriter, Next, Wicker Man, you need to be a little bit more selective about your films, Nicky.
Selective, Gary?
All right, for example, this just came in today. I've got it right here. You'd be playing a prisoner who asks if he can leave, and the warden says yes.
And then I leave?
Yeah, that's it. Not a very interesting story. So this is the kind of picture you shouldn't be doing.
I'm in.
What'd you say?
I said I'm in.
I'm gonna let that one slide, Nick, but your reputation is at stake. You have to be a little bit more discerning.
I like being in movies, Gary.
I know that you do, but you have to say no to some of them. Like this new one where the hero is a Nazi who can only speak in adverbs.
Let's do it.
Wait, no, Nick, come on. Now I want you to think hard about this, okay? You'd be playing Superman.
I love it.
Let me finish. Superman's cat. You'd be playing Superman's cat.
I love it, Gary.
And everyone on this bus is vomiting, except for your character, who has diarrhea.
Count me in.
A raunchy teen sex comedy shot entirely from the waist down.
Absolutely.
This one is literally a documentary about dandruff, directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, perfect.
An astronaut gets lost in space and his body implodes, except for his ass, which maintains consciousness and must find its way back to the ship.
Brilliant.
Oscar Schindler is not an action hero.
He is now.
People do not want to see an all-white remake of The Color Purple.
Sucks for them.
In a world where one man's dick hole is a black hole, Jack-o'-lantern comes to life, makes itself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and becomes inanimate again.
Hell yeah!
A lawyer wakes up with his ass where his dick used to be. Cheech Marin has the voice of your ass from the writer of Space Ass.
No!
Great, Nick. We'll pass on this. We'll get you something better with...
Sorry, my dog was eating my shoelace. Whatever you just said, I'm in.
It's the same action movie. They just changed the title to Kill a Mockingbird Retold so that the black guy really did rape that woman. Why are you doing this? What is wrong with you? You're a madman! All right, listen. This one is a career ender. You play a guy who can communicate with dolphins and uses this power to hunt them.
Yes.
It's a silent movie.
Yes.
There's a scene in it where you have real, actual sex with a puppy.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's not going to be shot on film, it's going to be shot on fruit by the foot.
Yes, 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 yes.
Nicholas, I'm making this one up. I'm making it up. You can't say yes to it because it doesn't exist.
Well, let's get Bruckheimer on the horn then.
No, Nick, I quit. You're a tasteless asshole.
What?
A tasteless.
Ooh, okay. I do apologise.
He then makes a movie.
But you can see how upset you can get when you're Nicolas Cage's agent.
Yeah.
So I do apologise for that. For that. You know, that's the thing about pulling things off the internet, folks. And here on the internet, the UCD Meme show, we do have to pull stuff from the internet sometimes. So Nicolas Cage, eh?
Yes.
Certainly isn't our fault.
It isn't our fault. He is gone.
Who's our technical manager?
I don't know.
That's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Some crazy guy. So I don't know. Nicolas Cage.
Here's a good one. Nick Cage as Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
That's really good.
Actually, what you're talking about here, Nick Cage is everyone. That is a fantastic blog here, and it is on our UCD and meme page. There's UCD as a panda, as Captain Planet.
I particularly like Nick Cage as pregnant Demi Moore.
I like Nicolas Cage as the Silver Surfer personally, because I could see that happening.
Did you know that Nick Cage was actually meant to be cast as Superman when Tim Burton was going to direct Superman?
Tim Burton was going to direct Superman?
In the Kevin Smith written version.
Yeah, Kevin Smith written version, directed by who did I just say?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, thank you very much. It was going to be Nicolas Cage, but he wasn't going to have a cape. He couldn't wear the Superman symbol, and he couldn't fly. He wasn't allowed to fly.
Well, so what? Well, he was going to be a crack addicted.
The producer was a mental case.
John Peters, the producer, and I quote: the reason he told Kevin Smith that he couldn't wear the red and blue suit, and he had to wear a black leather suit. And this is a direct quote, because the traditional Superman outfit looked too faggy.
Wait, Corey.
That's a direct quote. I will post the Kevin Smith interview on the Facebook page now.
That's a lie.
By the way, John Peters. Oh, sorry. Go.
Did you want to tell the end?
No. You go for it.
Okay. Basically, the reason Kevin Smith pulled out of the project is because Tim Burton was going to bring on his own people. That's the official reason. The actual reason is that he wanted the ending to be written where Superman fights a gigantic spider.
Oh my god, I've heard this before.
A gigantic spider.
And then what happens 2 years later on? Wild Wild West
Yeah,
comes
that
out.
was- that was-
Produced
Same
by
producer.
John Peters.
Oh my god.
Who started out his career by being Barbara Streisand's hairstylist. Honest to God. Then he ended up a Hollywood producer.
It was a terrible film. I didn't like that film. The Go Away, Go West, Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did not like that one.
Yet
Like Ken Branagh. though.
the Superman suit is too faggy.
Yeah.
Go
He
away.
also wanted Lex Luthor to get into a fight with polar bears as a tie-in for Coca-Cola.
And he wanted what was the bad guy in it's going to be called? Who was it? It was Brain. No, not Brain. I can't remember. He wanted the bad guy in the Superman film to have a pet dog so that you
Yeah.
can merchandise it.
Like Chewbacca.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
And also he wanted Superman to have a homosexual robot sidekick, also like Superman,
Because he'd
also
seen
like Star
Mallrats.
Wars.
John Peters had seen Mallrats, and I can't remember the character's name, but there was a gay African American in it. He goes, something like that would be perfect for
No,
him.
that was in Chasing Amy.
Oh,
that
Chasing
that
Amy,
was not Holden.
Whitey Hayton Coon.
Whitey Hayton Coon. Yeah, it
Whitey
was.
Hayton
That
Coon.
was the comic book. I'm trying to think of his name now. Cooper.
Yeah, but that's
It's
who
Cooper.
he like. Oh, we need someone like that for our movie. Let's make him a robot.
And speaking of which, actually, Kevin Smith is playing Vicar Street tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I hope he's listening. Hopefully, he's in a taxi right now, and the taxi driver's accidentally tuned in
To 107.8, and he's just listening right now.
If that's the case, I'm a massive fan, Mr. Smith.
I love Dogma. I thought Dogma was quite.
I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith, but get this for logic on my part. Had a ticket, sold the ticket, want a ticket now.
Was it
Good
when you
logic.
sold the ticket you needed money?
I didn't need the money, I just sold the ticket.
No, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Is Jason Mewes going to be there as well?
Yes.
Oh,
The two of them are gonna
I
be-
wouldn't have sold the ticket then.
I know. It was silly. It was very silly on my part.
Matt Damon or Ben Affleck?
I don't think so.
Alright,
I don't think so. They barely wanted to be in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Why did they? I mean, what was? I don't understand. Again, Mr. Smith, if you're listening, I don't want to cause offense.
Well, Ben
Why
Affleck-
did they keep coming back and doing his movies?
Well, Ben Affleck actually looks at the camera and goes, sometimes you have to do your friend's movie because you owe him.
Yeah, but
That was in Chasing Amy.
famous story is basically that Kevin Smith pretty much started both of their careers.
Which to an extent is true because Matt Damon is in Mallrats as the security guard.
Yes, and Ben Affleck is in Mallrats
He is.
as the creepy manager.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
No one else from those films really launched their careers apart from Kevin Smith.
I forget Jason Lee from My Name Is Earl.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
Jason
sorry.
He was
He was a professional skateboarder before that.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes, he was a professional skateboarder, and he worked for. I always forget his name. I read his autobiography.
Was it a skater, was it?
Yes, he was a
Station
professional.
Peralta?
No, he was the best technical skateboarder in the world.
Oh, no, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about,
Bergquist.
yeah.
No, that's the best vert skater.
Oh, Mike Vallely. No.
No,
He's not
no,
near
he's
the
a
best.
street
He's old
skater.
school. He's old school.
This guy is very old school. I'll look him up.
Yeah, I do so.
And here's the thing as well. You know, he's actually a Scientologist,
Yes, yeah.
which is unbelievable.
So's the other guy who plays his brother.
Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen.
Rodney
He's a
Mullen.
legend.
Ah, yeah, he
He's
is a
absolutely
legend. He is. I didn't
amazing.
know that. I didn't know that.
He was
Makes
a
sense.
professional skateboarder before he became an actor.
An actor. But no,
I've lost track now. Yeah, so you're still looking. Are you hopeful of getting a ticket now for tonight?
there are tickets still on sale on Ticketmaster, so I don't really. I do want to go, but I've already committed to. They're like 40 quid, aren't they, Corey?
They are. They're 39 pound or euro. Sorry, I was about to say Great British pounds.
The Queen's
and then
pound.
of course Ticketmaster puts their own slice of charge on top. of
I
it.
was worried there because I thought maybe the euro and the pound had gone 1-to-1, which would have been very worrying.
And I think on that note,
inflation.
guys, do go to Kevin Smith tonight. You can still get tickets, and even check out his movies. I actually do have stuff signed by Kevin Smith anyway. And the movie actually that Jeff Anderson wrote, of course, the guy who played Randall. Now You Know. That's a very good movie. It's a very, very good movie, produced by Kevin Smith, and it's worth actually checking out. But I want to switch gears here and look at this thing I pulled from crack.com. Have you guys ever seen the internet show Does Not Compute?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know if you're familiar
Sounds
with...
like a prerequisite for working in here.
Exactly. Have you seen the one with the crazy kid who plays too much Pokemon?
It's triggering something in the back of my
Yes,
mind.
he tries to collect all the shinies.
Yes. Well, here's the audio, and I'm going to cut it real quick because I think there is one S word in it. But here we go.
One S word's fine, isn't it?
I think so.
499. Like most well-adjusted tweens, the Ben spends his afternoons daisy-chaining Game Boys together, human centipede style, then forcing hour after hour of precious life into them and watching them come out the other end as the fetid waste of a squandered youth. And if you think I'm overreacting, you don't know the fucking meaning of the word.
There it is! 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 Oh my God!
Oh, hey! Abenzio, I didn't hear you. What is it?
I found it! I found
Abenzio, calm down.
Take a look at this, everybody! A live shiny ponytail!
Oh, hey! You know who else was noted for screaming, "I found it"? Archimedes, when he intuited the law of voluminous displacement, paving the way for fluid mechanics and dragon muppetization. And what did you do? You found a pony with a modest nature.
Modest nature! Oh, I get modest nature and flash fire. That's awesome.
Awesome.
What a great nature.
Abenzio, consider this an intervention from a stranger on the internet who's being paid to make fun of you. At your age, this level of euphoria should be reserved exclusively for making bugs fight or scrambled porn or some weird combination of those two. Otherwise, what kind of standard are you setting for yourself later in life?
Oh my God, my heart's beating 100 miles an hour. I can't just stop. I can't stop. I can't stop.
See? Now, if you ever discover something of actual value, you'll have to pants or something just to seem appropriately taken aback. Oh, no, it's just a wizard. But there's no way Pokemon alone did this. They just lack the pure, crack-like addictive power. Unless, of course, you scored some real primo ground Jigglypuff. I think someone's enabling.
I have to show you this email. I'm very sorry, Shiny Collector 7, but I will have to expose you for a second. Sorry about your luck. Don't give up. I can't wait for your pony to vid especially. I really want to feel the excitement you'll feel. I hope this is enough excitement for you.
No, Benz, no, it's not. It's a 100-pixel sprite of a pony. You should be writing sexist clubhouse bylaws or fearing the draft, not this.
I was listening to my favorite band once again. Sum 41.
Really?
No reason.
That is a shame. And come on, you can afford 3 Game Boys, but you can't support your favorite band by buying an album? How's that add up?
25,968 encounters.
Ah!
Finally.
Good! You're tracking your Pokemon encounters on a graphing calculator to the music of Sum 41? According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock. Either no one wants with you because you scream like a banshee, or else... Divine intervention?
Thank God this finally happened. Thank you so much, God. I really owe you one on this one.
But somehow, I kinda doubt the Lord's hand was fondling your premium Pokeballs on this one.
Dedications right now, everybody. Not trying to be biased or anything. Everybody had an equal share in this.
And the worst part is, while this is probably Abenzio's most ambitious hunt for bullshit...
Yeah, okay, so as you can see, I had to cut it heavily from the original, and the original is up on, it is on my Facebook loads of time, I think I posted 3 or 4 times, but it's also on crack.com, we'll put it on the UCD Memes page later on. But guys, what do you think about that? Seriously.
Insane, man.
Insane, like,
Insane.
you know, I understand the Pokemon thing to an extent, but to freak out that much over collecting...
But it had a modest nature.
Yes. Shiny ponytail, remember. It was important.
Oh my God, guys, I don't know.
You see, I can understand people who play it for hours and like train their Pokemon in order to fight against people around the world. It's a strange thing to do, but you know, we're all into odd things. We all have weird habits, but collecting the shiny ones, you know, just like
Connor, you don't understand. It's a shiny Ponyta now, but someday, it'll be a shiny Rapidash.
That won't have a modest nature anymore, though.
But I assume if he was waiting for the shiny Ponyta, he may have already had the shiny Rapidash. Because does he not want to have a shiny one of every single evolution?
No, he'll need a shiny Firestone, don't forget that. It's the only way it's going to work.
No, but
they banned those in my school.
The what?
They banned
Pokemon
cards, yeah.
Oh.
The same in my school, yeah.
Because kids were, kids were...
Beating each other up.
Yeah, nicked off them and stuff, and... at the start of class, everyone would be like trading their cards and everything. And there used to be this just crowd of kids, just big nerds, just like massive kids, but they were nerds as well, that just kind of beat the crap out of everyone for their cards. You've got an Alakazam. That's the rarest card. Give it to me. No, my mommy got it for me.
Yeah.
Bash.
Pokemon is the only thing where nerds beat each other up for. And
Magic. Have you? Jesus.
Magic cards. Oh my god!
Oh,
actually, if you walk down certain points, you see the Magic cards. I stopped playing Magic.
I avoid that staircase now.
Yeah, but I used to play Magic the Gathering.
I did too.
Yeah.
But
Myself too. Yeah.
I don't.
I don't.
I'm normal.
I still have a bunch of them in the shoebox somewhere.
I have a load of them. I have far too many Magic. I have like 3 or 4 decks. So yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. But the thing about that is, right, this guy's YouTube channel, it's really, really scary. He has like days of him just playing Pokemon. He just sat there playing Pokemon for days.
Yeah, nobody should tell him that when he evolves those shiny Pokemon, he no longer has the original shiny Pokemon.
Alright, so let's take our first break here on Nerd to Know Basics. Okay, so you're catching us on the podcast and you want to find out, well, what if I want to listen live and I'm not in Ireland? Well, the TuneIn app has you covered. That's TuneIn. Just look for Phoenix 92.5 FM and you'll be able to check us out live. Don't forget, if you want to contribute to the conversation, go over to Twitter. Nerd2Know 92.5 is our Twitter. That's Nerd2, the number 2. No, 92.5 is our Twitter for the show. If you want to chime in, you can. Every Saturday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. Do you like wrestling? Do you like sports and things? Do you want to know what's going on backstage and inside the ropes? Check out the Wrestling International Desk here on 92.5 Phoenix FM every Tuesday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Listen live with myself, Darragh O'Connor, and my co-host, Mr. Brennan O'Rourke.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Centre, this is Phoenix FM.
Alright guys, and we're back after that break. You're listening to Nerd to Know Basis here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. Moving on.
Here's a funny thing I came up on Crack as well, right? It's all about 6 movies that inadvertently made each other, inadvertently remade other movies.
Okay.
Right? It's really, really weird when we think about it, right? So we're going to run down this in a good bit.
Every spaghetti western ever made has been remade.
No. It's even more weird than that. Home Alone is Die Hard.
Yeah.
Well, essentially.
And when you think about it, you see the screens here. It's very, very similar. Like there's certain screens in it that just... It looks exactly the same. Has very, very similar plot to an extent.
But you can freeze shots in any movie and kind of compare them to another. Yeah.
Well, see, that's the one that's a little bit, out there. Little Miss Sunshine is National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah, I believe that.
Also,
I can see that. Yeah.
Also,
but in the way that they're both journey stories.
It's a great film, though.
True.
There's
Wall-E.
less sex in the Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, well, that would be really creepy.
Yeah.
Wall-E is Idiocracy.
Okay.
And there are some scenes that look exactly like, because they're both in a dystopic future.
Lord of the Rings is a fistful of dollars.
No.
Fight Club is old school, though.
Fight Club is old school.
Yes,
Fight Club is old school.
No, it's
I only
not.
saw
No,
it.
It is, yeah.
No, it is. It is.
The director
actually said it.
They have the house. Really? Okay.
Yeah, the director actually said it, and when you compare screenshot by screenshot, it is very, very true.
Fight Club's better.
And here's one that really got me, right? Atlantis: The Lost Empire, the little-known Disney movie from 2001.
It's also Back to the Future name. Oh God, what's his name? Michael
J. Fox.
Yeah.
Is Stargate from 1994, the even more obscure movie that nobody has seen that spawned lots of different TV shows, and that's true.
Kurt Russell.
You know what? That movie was so hard to get for such a long time that I thought I made it up. And then I found it.
I think I've seen that on RTE at one stage.
They show it from time to time, but you can actually get it on Blu-ray. But the point of it is, you actually compare it shot by shot. It looks exactly like. So that's up on Crack there. I just wanted to mention that. We watch far too many movies, guys.
We're nerds.
We are nerds, but this
not
is
in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
I have to
It's
do
a
it for
nice
my
word.
job.
You have to do it.
I worked in
dig it now.
Activision before. I didn't have to do it.
Okay, it's an excuse. Damn you.
But what else are you going to do if you work in a movie store?
Watch movies.
Well, we can't even watch movies anymore while we're there.
Well, when I worked in Activision, I was told, I worked in the games department sometimes, and I was told, if it's a slow day, just go over to one of the pillars that we have.
Games department? You mean shelf?
No, in our one, we actually had an extra game underneath Activision. And
very good, actually.
I just go over to one of the pillars where they have like an Xbox connected and play it for an hour or two.
Oh, I wish I had that. That's all I would do.
It
We
was.
don't-
It was.
We had a PlayStation Move for a couple of days. With
They're
the
really
guy-
good. They're really
the
good.
guy demonstrating it. Yeah.
The PlayStation Move is actually a heck of a lot better than the Kinect, in my opinion.
It is, because
Yeah.
it picks it up a lot better, you know?
Well, why is there no the only thing I'm annoyed about is the voice control, which is actually one feature of the Kinect I would like. And for now, Mass Effect 3 is coming out in March. 9th of March. I can't wait. I got my pre-order in, and it has voice, but I don't see why if you have a mic on your PC or if you have a headset on your PS3 or whatever, you can't use the same bloody thing. I mean, surely it's just you could do it with a software download pack.
Yeah, they don't need hardware to translate voice.
No,
just a software
completely.
pack. Just do
Yeah.
it.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry, that's
It's actually that's a very good transition. Because something else I wanted to get your opinion on. Who is a PlayStation 3 owner here?
I am.
Okay, so that's 3 out of 5 guys here.
Right.
What do you guys think about these HD remakes, the collections?
Personally, I'm a big fan, just because you don't have to buy them if you don't like them. But some of the games, for instance, Metal Gear Solid 3 or the Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
Oh god, it's unbelievable.
You can get Subsistence, you can get Substance, the two special editions of 2 and 3, and those games on the PS2, to buy them would cost you 60. 60 Great British pounds for 3. I don't know how much down here.
More,
but now you
100.
now you can get them on your PS3 upscaled to HD for $29.99.
Well, no, it's 50 quid in GameStop. But I was in Game yesterday. I got it for
$29.99. $29.99 on Play.com.
Oh, well, Play.com. That's a different thing.
It's annoying because that's the one thing PS3 now has got over Xbox 360, because they brought out the 3 Splinter Cells in HD.
Oh, did they?
I'm so annoyed. I love those games.
Shadow of the Colossus on Eco as well.
Yes, I
widely
have that.
considered
Phenomenal.
some of the best games ever made.
One thing that did annoy me is I own Ico
So do
on
I.
PS2
And Shadow Colossus.
Now it's been so devalued that I could have got 30 quid for the disc before this.
Yeah,
Dude,
it used to be so rare.
They were Ico first collection, right? The first,
Was
especially.
Ico really good? I never played that.
Oh,
I
dude,
played
it's so
Shadow
good.
of the
Got it for a
Colossus.
$5 in Extravision.
You know how much they were going for on Play.com beforehand, or Amazon as well? £250.
No way.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I swear
Is
to
it
God.
that good?
That's new though, isn't it?
No, it was not even new. There was the pretty damaged one going for 50.
When are they coming out? When is that HD?
Well, that HD collection's already out.
It's been out since
I never
October.
seen
It's been out since October, and I went in and spent. No, actually, beforehand. It's been out since.
September, wasn't it?
September, yeah.
September,
it came,
yeah.
I
out,
haven't
it came
seen
out.
it anyway.
It came out around the same time as Dead Island, and I had to choose one or the other.
Right
I
now,
chose Zombies.
right now, if you go to Game on Dawson Street, you can get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, before somebody who's listening runs in and goes, "Haha, screw you, Rob."
Take that, UCD
No, I played
Memes.
Shadow of the Colossus and I loved it. And there were certain references to Ico apparently in it that I didn't get because I never played the first.
Well, it isn't a sequel per se. It's a kind of.
No, but there's references like the thing on the horse's mane.
Yeah.
and all
It's
this.
set several thousand years after. Ico is set several thousand years after Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, it's a spiritual
It's an actual
sequel.
story because there's actually very little dialogue in the second one, so you kind of don't really.
There is actually a novel written by a Japanese author called Castle in the Mist,
Right.
based on Ico, that explains kind of the whole story behind it.
Oh, okay.
So you can look that up. Obviously, it was in Japanese, but somebody went to great care translating it. So it's on Amazon now.
Cool. But there's also the God of War series as well, in the 2-volume, and they're pretty good.
That came in and I missed it. We only got like 4 copies, and I was like, I played the third one. I hadn't played the first 2.
Oh man, the first 2 are phenomenal.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that next day I'm in. I don't have any money, and then I came back in the next day. No.
Connor?
And I don't think they've released them, like re-released them in HD, but they have the old PS1 games, a lot of them, Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy 7. That's hard to, unless you have a PS1 lying around, which I don't, you can't play them otherwise.
No. Here's the thing. And here's the discovery I made about 2 months ago. You can actually play your PS1 games on the PS3.
Can you?
Yes,
you can.
Yes, you can.
Final Fantasy 7 lying around somewhere.
There you go. And people who are maybe listening to this don't know that, because I didn't know that.
Because I would be afraid of it kind of really messing up my system.
I did.
Because I've heard horror stories about PS2 games.
No, PS2, that's different. They took out the chip. They took out the chip for the PS2, but the PS1 you're able to play it.
My PS3 is PS2 compatible.
Oh, it's one of the old ones. You spent like €700 getting
No, I went into Game and it was actually cheaper to buy that than a new PS3.
Wow.
So I was like, is this one of the backwards compatible ones? Like, yeah, but don't say that too loudly.
They also have
everybody will be wanting more.
Worst kept secret now.
You'll get killed on the way out.
Mine mess. It kind of broke down anyway.
The problem is, though, because PS1 games, the casings of them were so fragile and everything, they're quite expensive now to buy.
They are.
Like, if you go into Rage on...
it's off Georgia Street.
Yeah, it's on Fade Street. If you go there, that's a retro game shop. Like, their PS1 games are quite expensive.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that little look back from the progenitor of this show's format, a show called UCD Memes. So really great to go back and kind of check that out and share it with a new audience. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did going back through it. Coming up next, however, is an interview I've been sitting on for 4 years. This is all about Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. Now, this was actually one of the shows that kind of tackled Street Fighter properly. And it is rated now on IMDb at 7.4. Very, very action heavy. And I got to actually talk with one of the stars, one of the on his journey from being a stunt guy to being a Hollywood actor. So check it out, guys. Okay, so talk to me first about your experience about getting into the movie industry. I know you started off as a stuntman and martial artist. Talk to me about maybe the steps to entering and making it big in Hollywood.
I've been sort of, you're right, the route in was kind of through the kind of stunt martial arts side of things. I've been a lifelong martial artist. I used to act, do quite a lot of theatre as a kid, but in later years, it was the martial arts was kind of my obsession. And when I was about 16, I thought maybe it's not such a crazy idea, me working in movies, using my kind of martial arts abilities. So my first I started getting I went to Oxford Brookes Uni and did a human biology degree. And I started getting into modelling and kind of extras work and doing sort of student shorts and acting finding my acting feet. And then Batman Begins was my first big movie experience as a stuntman, as one of the ninjas, the sort of League of Shadows in the mountains where Bruce Wayne trains, if you remember. But that was a turning point, because up to that point I'd been focusing on becoming a professional stuntman and getting on the UK stunt register. And I suddenly realised I've got it wrong. I want to be an actor who can do his own action and not a stunt double. I wouldn't have had satisfaction having a career merely doubling other stars, and the audience thinking it's them. If I'm going to do this cool action, it has to be me. I have to be the character. And moreover, I need to emotionally, carry the character. So after Batman, I stopped training for the register and thought I need to become a professional actor. I need to join equity. I need to get a spotlight. I need to get an agent. So when I was 21, when I graduated from uni, I did that, and thus my professional acting career began. And my big break was, I'd done stuff like Spooks and, some TV stuff, like Crime Watch, like a lot of people, all kinds of finding your feet early on. But then The Bourne Ultimatum was my big Hollywood break, as an actor in which I got to do my own action, and I insisted So that gave me a lot of credibility, you know. And then I've gone on to do, you know, I've been working ever since. I think I must have about 26 acting credits by now. Stuff like Attack the Block. I did a film with John Cusack called The Number Station. I was in Snow White and the Huntsman with Chris Hemsworth and Kristen Stewart. I did a film with Scott Adkins, a new Green Street film. So I've been working steadily as an actor. I did a film in Bulgaria for the Sci-Fi Channel, and so on and so forth. And that was kind of my intro in, but I think as time has gone on, I've thought, you know, as an actor sometimes you're like, even if I do my best job on this film, it could still be terrible because the writing isn't good enough or the direction isn't good enough. So I think if you're constantly feeling, I could do this better, go out and do it, and that's what I did. So out of a frustration of kind of like terrible video game fighting movies, I thought I'm going to be the person that does this right in terms of script writing and direction and vision, and here we are.
And was that difficult?
Years later.
Was that difficult to kind of to make that transition into writing and directing? A difficult subject matter, which is, like, as you said, video game movies, which are usually terrible.
I think it's because the people go on IMDb and look at any of these video game movies. Look from the producers to the director to the writers, even sometimes to the action team. None of the people along that chain of command are obsessive fans of the source material. Now, how the hell are you going to make a good adaptation of something if you don't even understand what it is you're trying to adapt? Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So a lot of these studios will see, Street Fighter's just sold 12 million copies. Okay, let's go and get the option. Let's go and speak to the rights holder and get the option. And they just put it together as a money-making exercise. And a studio or producer may say, oh, well, let's just take a sort of generic action thriller script we've got and substitute crowbar in from the Street Fighter characters. They're not thinking, let's develop a story from the ground up that is truly tailored to telling the essence of what Street Fighter is, because they don't have the capacity, intelligence, or knowledge to do that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you take something like The Dark Knight, a lot of people don't realise that Nolan is a fucking Batman nerd. You know, he just said he received a copy of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns graphic novel for his 12th birthday and vowed ever since then to make a Batman movie. So Nolan knows Batman like the back of his hand. He's read all the classic graphic novels and stuff, which is why his adaptation is as nuanced and deep as it is, and a lot of the other ones aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, look, writing, filmmaking is this scary barrier. People think, you know, screenwriters must be these kind of wizards of linguistics, and I couldn't possibly dream of writing a script unless I went and, you know, studied screenwriting. Sod that, pick up your laptop and just start writing. You know, write like a novel. The process of writing a script, for me, write long form. Like English comprehension or English composition, you know. All of those skills you would have learned in your English exams growing up are teaching you how to screenwrite, you know.
Right.
Understanding pace, understanding structure. And look, if you've got intelligence, go online and read scripts of films that you love. Start to study the structure of how these films are put together. How do they read on the page compared to how they play on the film? Buy books on screenwriting. It doesn't. If you were committed in a year of hard work, you could teach yourself to write a great script. It's just a lot of people are scared. It's the unknown. A lot of the filmmaking industry is an enigma to people outside of it.
Right.
They see it as being far more difficult to enter than it actually is. If you just think, sorry, if they can do it, I can do it. I've got a good imagination. I'm articulate. I could write good dialogue or good set pieces or good twists and non-linear structure. You know, you just need a bit of belief and try it. You can try and fail, you know, but you'll never know unless you try it. And it's like, that's kind of it,
Okay. Well, let's talk about the movie itself. There has been many Street Fighter movies before. There's been several anime movies before, which have been quite good. Did you kind of try to stick to the better side of the Street Fighter movies when you were writing it, or did you just kind of go, I'm going to tell, the Ken and Ryu story my own way?
I mean, the live-action movies were of zero reference, because for me they were not Street Fighter.
No.
So let's rule them out to start with. But the anime, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist and Street Fighter Legacy, the kind of little proof of concept short that I directed before this, I collaborated with Christian Howard, who plays Ken.
Okay.
So we used to live together. Chris was kind of my protege in terms of psychography and whatnot. Has worked alongside me for the last 10 years. He's an obsessive Street Fighter player and knowledge as well, so to have two minds to be able to sit down and chew through all the animes, all the Udon comic book series, all of the game, look at what's strictly regarded as canon by Capcom, and the stuff in some of the animes isn't regarded as strict canon, but a lot of it is liked by fans and liked by us. So we're like, how can we tie together the best of the animes, the best of the comic series, and what is strict canon in the games, and create what is hopefully the definitive backstory of Street Fighter. So yeah, we want fans to watch this and say, this is Street Fighter. My God, these guys have put in everything. No detail has been overlooked, And yeah, rather than thinking, we're just going to create our own story, whether that defies the canon or not, to blazes with it, it has to be true, It has to be true. I hate it when it's not. Take the last Wolverine movie. I'm a huge Wolverine fan, and when they finally said, look, we're doing the Japanese story, I was like, great, we're going to see, Logan in Japan for 15 years and married to Mariko and training as a samurai and speaking Japanese fluently and knowing all the Japanese etiquette and customs and Yakuza and all the social structure and hierarchy. They threw all of that out the window and made it a fish out of water tale. Let's have Logan as the dumb, I know he's Canadian, but dumb American in Japan making every social faux pas possible, not speaking the language, not knowing martial arts particularly. I just thought, what a wasted opportunity. The original mythology of this arc of Logan's life is so good, and you've taken everything that's good about it and thrown it out the window and put formulaic Hollywood fish out of water, paradigms into it. And that's not what we wanted to do, It's like, we're going to make Street Fighter, it's going to be true, and you're going to watch it and say, that is Street Fighter. This is now the backstory, and that's the aim. I hope fans have now watched Assassin's Fist and are like, that is the history of Ryu and Ken and Goken and Akuma, and we need not look anywhere else for an explanation of what their origins and motivations are,
Well, one of the biggest things that this movie's getting praised at is actually the fighting. Is that just because of the chemistry that your cast had? Being a real life martial artist. When you know people and you train with them, did that help at all?
Well, that's key. I think casting Street Fighter is a real challenge, because for me, there are only a handful of people on the planet that are even worth considering for each character. I don't want to get just great dramatic actors that need to be doubled, because, as you said, leaving these characters on screen, half of it is believing them physically. So they have to have the physique, and they have to be able to do at least 80% of the action themselves. So in the case of myself, Christian Howard, Mike Moe, Gaku Space, there was no stunt doubling at all. Everything you see done is done by the actors. Every fall, every somersault, every real hit, it's them. Even Togo Egawa, who plays Getetsu, who's 67 you can see it. I don't need to even tell you. You can see it for yourself.
Wow.
How much he's doing, and that makes you believe. You're like, bloody hell, they're doing it. And that's something that gets lost from a lot of the bigger budget Hollywood TV shows or movies, where they feel compelled to cast a name.
Yeah.
And the real life action star is something of a dying breed in terms of actors who have the ability of a high level stunt guy or athlete, but who also have dramatic chops, and that's what we want to keep on doing. And I think my obsession with the game and attention to detail, along with Christian Howard's, meant that the action and choreography was every stance, every basic jab had to be like the character would do in the game. It's not enough just to say, as long as the Hadouken, Shoryuken and Tatsumaki are in there, let's just give them generic martial arts choreography.
So,
No, it had to be, and that's where a lot of things fall off. They would think, oh, we don't need to be that slavish. It's like, well, you do, otherwise it's not Street Fighter, I know when you watch Ryu and Ken bobbing up and down in stance in that final fight, you're like, that is Street Fighter. That is Ryu and Ken right there,
You can sense the passion. You can sense the passion as you're speaking, yeah. Okay, well, one final question before I let you go. I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I am a big Street Fighter fan. And for anybody who has been slighted in the past, from a fan's perspective, what would you say to them to watch Assassin's Fist?
I would just say that Assassin's Fist should represent everything you've wanted to see, but never really being served by the bigger Hollywood adaptations of these source materials. The music is there, the costumes are there, the backstories are there, the action is there, and it's a character story. Ultimately, you're going to get great fights, but it's a character story, and I think that's what will surprise a lot of people, is that you'll almost become more obsessed with following the plight of the characters emotionally and narratively than you will do wanting to see your next Hadouken or fight. And this is the start of hopefully a big ongoing mythology, and I think it's something made by fans of the mythology, ultimately for fans. So get behind and support the movement, because we need more of this kind of filmmaking where it's made for the love and the art first and the commerce second. There's very little of that going on these days in filmmaking with the way it's structured. So get behind it, and if you like it, tell a friend.
Okay. Joey, listen, thank you so much for your time, sir, and best of luck with the movie.
Thank you very much.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed it. This has been Alright, so you're listening to the podcast, you're like, hey, I'm not in Ireland, how do I get in touch? Well, TuneIn has you covered. That's how you can check us out live when we're on the radio. You go to TuneIn and download the app, or you can check out the live streams on nerdtoknowmedia.com or Phoenix 92.5 FM. If you want to get in contact with us, it's very easy. Nerd to Know Media everywhere. Nerd to Know Media on Twitter, Nerd to Know Media Instagram, Nerd to Know Media on Twitch, Nerd to Know Media at gmail.com if you want to reach out via email. Hope to hear from you soon. Check out the Wrestling Rewind here on Phoenix 92.5 FM every Tuesday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And of course over on nerdtoknowmedia.com, the only wrestling podcast by wrestling fans who don't hate wrestling. We'll see you then.
Hey Dara, what are you doing over there in Ireland? Like with the freaking leprechauns and everything. That's not cool. You should be over here with the cosplayers. At least then you could, like, I don't know, pretend like you got, I don't know, some kind of thing going on. Yeah, with you give me a Brooklyn Blade. Yeah, with your dick, Dara. Dara? Yeah, Dara. Why ain't you over here with Joey? Anyway, we missed you, dude. So, this is Karibo saying,
I love it. All I do is just believe in the heart of the cards, and then I...
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.